What are you currently watching on television?
BMF.
Ah!
This is Sanya On-Air.
Doesn't he have any Rick James?
Open like a window, no window. Look at the videos and stuff that could have been you.
Because they like
This is Sanya On-Air.
And everybody on the East Coast calls me Don. I'm like, what is Don?
My mom thought I was on Long Island, but I was at Howard Homecoming.
Ready?
Turn it up.
Let's go.
Welcome, everyone. You are now tuned into another amazing edition of Sanya On Air. I'm your host, SanyaHudson, and how do I start off each and every single show? You guessed it. I have another great show for you. Coming up in just a few short moments, I have actress Rama Montakhabi. Now, Rama stars as Peaches in the hit series BMF, streaming on Starz Network. BMF. Who isn't watching BMF? Now, we are in season 2 of BMF. Season 2 is dedicated to expansion and all new phases. If you've noticed, or if you haven't noticed, let me tell you, expansion means all of the characters, there will be so much character development. You will find out, maybe where they were born, what makes them click, what makes them rise to the occasion, what makes them make whatever decisions that they make. We're going to get so much backstory, so much understanding about each and every single character. And there's so many new faces in season 2. So many new faces. So in season 1, you may have had, characters that you saw maybe in one episode, like Rama. But season 2, like I said, is all about expansion. So you're going to see them a lot more. When I talk about new faces, Monique, did you know that what's her name? Carisha Brownlee. Now we only know her by Carisha, or Young Miami. She will be on season 2. We also have Leslie Jones. And who else do we have in here? Lala Anthony, her character is a part of the expansion. She was, I don't know, was she in like maybe one episode in season 1? But she's all throughout season 2 along with Rama. So she was born in Iran, experiencing this American culture. She has her foot in Hollywood. We're going to unpack her pivotal moments and her milestones. But before we do all of that, what do I need you to do? What do I need you to do? I need you to subscribe to every Sanya On-Air streaming platform. Sanya On-Air streams across every major streaming platforms. YouTube, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you hit the notification button so that every time I upload an all new Sanya On-Air celebrity conversation, you'll be the first one to know. You'll be the first one to know. Sanya On-Air also streams on Amazon Music, Apple Music, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Buzzsprout, Stitcher, you name it. Sanya On-Air is there. So make sure that you hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you leave a comment. Make sure that you like. Make sure that you share it with your family, your friends, your cousins, your aunties, your nephews, your nieces, your frenemies, your enemies, your best friend, your neighbors, your local businesses. So in short, share with everybody. Share it with everybody. Okay, so why don't we do this? Let's take a quick commercial break, and I'll be right back with more Sanya On-Air and Rama Montakhabi. I'll be right back, I promise.
Do you work out on the regular? Fuel your cart goals with Instacart, the go-to service for quick delivery straight to your home. Use the special Sanya On-Air link below.
This is Sanya On-Air. This is Sanya On-Air.
How are you?
Good
morning.
Good morning. You're in LA?
I am in LA.
Oh, yeah. So it's extra early for you.
Oh, yeah, girl. It's 8:30 here.
I know. I'm in Brooklyn, New York, and I had a 9 a.m. interview. So it's been on go.
I love it.
I woke up, but that's what we do. Boss women, you know.
I love it.
Yes, I'm so excited to talk to you, especially now that we see you in season 2 of BMF. Were you ever on an episode in season 1?
No.
No.
I was not.
Good. Because season 2, we're seeing it's all about expansion and new faces. So you fit right on in. So you played Peaches. Tell us about your character, Peaches.
Well, Peaches is K9's girlfriend. Peaches is his ride or die. You know, she's the one, like he said in not the last episode, but episode 3. You know, I'm the one who translates the documents for the Arab business owners around town. But Peaches, you know, she's got a few tricks up her sleeve. She's a little spicy lady herself. So she's coming with it.
So I know that when you received the script, they already told you who Peaches is. Was there anything that you, Rama, added to the character so that you can kind of make it your own?
You know, like I was saying before, Peaches is, you know, that it girl. You know, she was the girl that when she walks in the room, all the heads turn. Everybody wants Peaches. So, you know, kind of could relate a little bit. So.
Talk your shit.
But yeah, just getting into the, you know, the boss mentality and just, you know, it was fun becoming Peaches. It was really fun.
So how did you find out about the role of Peaches?
So the first season I was watching as a fan, a really good friend of mine, Sabria Dublin, she's an amazing entertainment lawyer. She's with Randy, and I was presented the opportunity to audition for Peaches. So I was lucky.
How many times did you have to read for the script?
Once. I did one audition, and yeah, I got the part.
And the auditions took place in Los Angeles as well?
Yes. Well, it was self-taped. So I self-taped, and then we had to film in Atlanta and Detroit.
Got it. So when you received news that you secured the role of Peaches, was it by telephone? Did they tell you in person? Where were you?
It was by email.
And what did you do? How did you respond?
I freaked out. I was crying. Like I was just, you know, trying to find someone to call to tell. And I'm like calling everybody. Nobody's answering. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is just meant for me to know right now. So I kept it under wraps for a long time. It was hard. Yeah.
How long did you keep it under wraps without telling anyone?
You know, my close friends knew, but I didn't tell anyone until I was allowed to. You know, I was told by Sabria, she was like, don't mention anything. Like, you can't really talk about it until Starz releases it and starts advertising and promoting it. So I had to wait. I had to keep my lips sealed.
Got it. I'm curious about that because you said, you know, you tried to call your friends, no one was available. And then when you were finally able to tell them, you can only tell them, you couldn't announce it to the world. Your circle of friends, do they encompass people that you've known for many years or people that you've met because you're now in this industry?
Majority of the people that are closest to me, I've known for 10 plus years. Like I've been blessed with some incredible friends who've become family over these years. So I'm really grateful that a lot of my best friends are from like 10 plus years ago. And the ones that I have met in this industry are some like amazing people, literally. I'm super blessed. You know, they have the whole saying where if people in LA are fake, no, it's that you're in the wrong circle.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that because people think, you know, if you are on television, you're considered a celebrity. That's all that you hang around. Not understanding that, you know, you have friends that you've known for years and years, and that's your social circle. Just because you enter into a space where you're surrounded by celebrities, it's not that, okay, now I'm going to be fake and I'm just going to be their friend because they're a celebrity. So people need to know that you are just like everyone else, just trying to navigate through friendships that you've had for years and years and years. So I'm glad that you mentioned that. But you know what, when I was researching your character, I have to admit I was a little bit perturbed or upset because they classified or described your character Peaches as exotic. And I have an issue with that term when it comes to women of color like you and I, because if we're not white, if we're not Black from down south, I come from a Caribbean background. And I remember the first time that someone called me exotic. And I'm just like, well, what the hell is so exotic about me? Just because, you know, both of my parents aren't from Alabama. So how do you feel about that term being called exotic? And does that kind of broad upon colorism a little bit?
Honestly, I didn't take anything negative like by being called that, because I'm Persian, I'm Middle Eastern. So a lot of the times they do categorize us as being exotic, or, you know, like foreign cars, foreign women, exotic car, you know what I mean? So it's like, I didn't take any offense to it. I can see where it could be offensive to some people. And I, you know, I don't want to take away from that at all, but yeah, no, I didn't take any offense to that.
Got it. But on this flip side of it, what I was very enamored with is your fortitude, your persistence, and your faith. You were navigating through Hollywood without an agent.
And I still am.
Yes, because I firmly believe, like, people are like, okay, why are you writing things? Why are you producing? Why are you directing? Because no one's going to do it like I can. And I'd rather know what this lane is about before someone comes in as an expert and tell me where to go. So talk about that. What was your deciding factor to say, you know, I'm going to do this without an agent?
You know, it wasn't a choice. Like I've been saying this whole time, nobody is going to go as hard for you as yourself. So I would wake up every morning and I would submit myself to 10 to 20 different castings on LA Casting and casting networks, just like anywhere and everywhere that I could. And then also at the same time, I was building my network of friends and people that I know in the industry. So they wanted to book me at the same time. And I was just constantly, I was booked and busy. So, you know, not having the agent just enabled me to see what was really out there, you know, and I was just going for every single last thing that I could. And then when I would get on set, whether it be for a background role or for an actual character, I would show up and I would show out, you know, like I would make sure I was seen. They would 9 out of 10 times bump me up and I would become a featured background, or like I even got like a role as a receptionist in a speaking part on a Lifetime film when I went just as background, you know? So you never know what you can get from any situation. So don't turn things down just because you feel like the role isn't big enough for you yet.
Yes. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. You know, it does take some skill set to get in the room, but what are you going to do to stay in the room? That's what's so important. And you just said it, show up and show out. So without an agent, is it more difficult to get into those rooms, or do you definitely need an agent to make it easier?
I wouldn't know. I haven't had an agent this whole time I've been in LA. So I don't really know what an agent, you know, I do know that an agent will be able to get me these bigger auditions. Okay. So that I do know. I still have auditions coming in. I still have people contacting me, trying to work with me. So at this point, it's like I'm still booking myself.
So talk about that process, because there are individuals who can't afford an agent because an agent is kind of costly. So how do you find out about these available roles? Are there certain websites that you go to? Do you get things in the mail? How do you find out about castings?
A lot of the times back in the day, I would go to Casting Network. So it's LA Castings. I would go on there and they have a list every single day. They're updating more and more jobs. So I would go on there, but the bigger parts, they would come to me. I actually just got reached out by someone that I was dealing with back in 2020 when I was a real estate agent. And they just contacted me talking about, our producers want to work with you and we have a new film coming out, so we want you to audition. So it's like, it's still working. So I definitely am looking for an agent right now, though. I've been meeting with agents. I have a PR person now. You know, so I am building my team. I'm not going to sit here and say that you can do it all by yourself, because you can't. You know, you definitely need to build the right, strong team who's going to have your back, who's going to be looking out for your best interests. So, you know, that's where I'm at right now with it.
Got it. So you mentioned that you had your hand in real estate. When did you decide that you wanted to be an actress?
When I was 4 years old.
How did that happen?
If you know me, you know I'm just a character all around. Like, I can't tell a story without being so extra, you know. It's like we talk with our hands. Like, people are like, calm down. I'm like, I am calm. I'm telling the story. So it's something that I've wanted to do my entire life. And I started when I lived in New York back in 2009 and 2010. So I started briefly back then. I was on an episode of Blue Bloods with Mark Wahlberg. I did a couple things, but I wasn't ready, you know. And I think it was until God told me I was ready that I was really ready for it. So it was about 4 years ago when I went full-fledged and just put my all into it.
Was that difficult to make that leap? Because it's hard to jump into something new. So what was that transition for you like? Did you still do real estate while you went out on acting jobs? Or did you say, you know what, I'm going to give my undivided attention to acting? Talk about the transition a little bit.
Well, so, you know, real estate, that was the bag. You got to get to the bag somehow, right? So I did that, and I was fortunate enough to have my first sale was a $4.5 million home out here. So that was a great commission. So with that, I was able to focus all of my energy into acting. And, you know, I lost both of my parents 6 years ago. My mom 6 years ago, my dad 5 years ago. So that also motivated me to go for my dreams. Like, you only live once and life is short. So do what you want and go after it, because my mom always told me, if somebody tells you no, ask somebody else, or go for the manager. Like, go for somebody else, because somebody will tell you yes. So with that mindset and that determination, like, there's no stopping me.
Got it. And I'm glad that you brought up your parents. My condolences. You mentioned that they're both deceased. My mother transitioned. We're approaching 2 years. So I'm navigating through loss, but there are so many people who are just trying to deal with loss, especially after the pandemic. I like to call it the plandemic, because if you weren't planning and doing something positive, like, you just wasted a whole bunch of time. I just want to figure out, for me and also for my audience, how do you deal with loss?
There are so many different levels to grief. I feel like it starts with just anger, like sadness, regret. I blamed myself for a lot when I shouldn't have. I still grieve, even like I could cry right now. You know, it doesn't get easier.
It doesn't
at all. And especially now, just going through everything I'm going through with my career.
It's okay.
No, I just really would love them to be here and to see this.
But they're watching. And what you're doing, because you mentioned that the lessons that your mother gave you and how you carry it into your career to give you the strength and the faith that you need to face all of the no's, because the no's mean I just need to ask someone else. So I'm glad that you know, even though your parents have transitioned, you are using their lessons to sustain you and to teach you how to navigate through the moments. But what resonated with me and everything that you said is, you're still going to feel it every single day, but you still have to face every single day with the lessons that your parents gave you or whoever you lost. Just take those lessons with you. So I'm glad that you mentioned that, and I'm glad that you also were vulnerable enough to share that. Last week was I've been doing this for, let's say, about 8 to 10 years. Last week was the very first interview that I cried. So it's okay to be vulnerable. And I just want people to really share their truths and be authentic, because on social media, all we see is the highlight reels.
Oh, absolutely.
So for you to share that vulnerable moment, I definitely appreciate you. So let's switch topics.
All right, let's do it.
So what I noticed, every celebrity that I interview, no one has put AKA their character's name. So you are owning the character of Peaches.
It was already written. I don't know. I just saw. I thought you wrote it, so I was like, okay.
I guess your publicist did
I'm owning it.
Good. So with the character of Peaches, is there any attributes of Peaches that you said, you know what, I like that, I'm going to make that a characteristic of Rama? Anything? What did you take away from Peaches?
One of the characteristic traits was that she's the it girl. When she walks in the room, everybody turns their head and everybody wants Peaches. I mean, when I walk into a room, I feel like my energy and my energy alone, like, you're gonna know that I walked in the room. You know what I mean? So I think I'll take that from that.
I got it. But also new faces and expansion. There's so many characters that are being developed. Monique is going to be in season 2. We see Lala Anthony. We see Carisha Brownlee, or, AKA Young Miami. Yeah. Who else is on there? So many iconic actors and actresses already. What did you take away from being casted as Peaches? What did you take away?
Everything. I mean, me even being Peaches has just been such an honor. Like, I don't even know how else to say, because my dude is the main guy this season, and he's that gangsta boo. And, I feel like I'm so lucky to have been blessed with this character. I could have been anybody on the season, but to have been Peaches and to receive the love that Peaches is receiving, it's just been amazing.
So if you were to look at any other role designated for a female, is there any other role that you look at and say, that could be me?
In the show?
Yeah, on the show. Mm-hmm.
I haven't thought about that, actually. So you stumped me on this one. I would say Detective Jin.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I play, I have played a lot of like detective, cop role. Not cop really, but like things like that. So yeah, I would like to do that.
I like that answer. Let me tell you why I like that answer. Because as you alluded to, and as we know as an audience and fans of the show, Peaches is very sultry, sexy, the it girl. Everybody wants her. But the detective, that's a whole different role. So I'm glad to know that you don't want to be typecasted into a particular type of role. So knowing that you would kind of fit well into the detective role, what is your ultimate dream role?
My ultimate dream role, I haven't done a scary movie yet. I do want to do a scary movie where like I'm foaming at the mouth and I just look crazy and it's just like, blood and sweat and just gory. I do also want to do like a very emotional, like something where I'm crying or just making the viewers feel what I'm portraying. So I definitely want to do emotional and I want to do scary.
Nice. Got it. So what are you currently watching on television?
BMF.
Right. That is so right. I love to hear that. So let's say we now know that BMF has been renewed for a season 3. So if you were to think ahead, right, where would you like the character of Peaches to grow in season 3?
Well, I hope Peaches will be in season 3. I don't know. I will be. I will be.
We're gonna
All
claim
right,
it.
we manifesting that right now. I am in season 3. I do know that they moved to Atlanta, and Peaches is in Detroit. So, you know, there might be a little bit of her involved in some transactions. Like, I don't know. I can't say. So hopefully we will see Peaches in season 3 and get her going.
Got it. Are you currently in a relationship?
No, I am single.
Do you find that being in a relationship would kind of slow down your pace when it comes to going out on acting jobs? Would a relationship slow you down?
I don't think so, because I was in a relationship when I first was filming this, actually, last year. So my ex did help me a lot with my auditions and, you know, just supporting me throughout me trying and my journey, just supporting my journey. But I do think that being single now has allowed me to meet new people who are helping me, you know, in my career. And I feel like I wouldn't have been able to spend most of my time with these other people had I had a relationship.
Got it. I'm hearing 2 things from your response. So if you are in a relationship, just make sure that the person is supportive of you, also helping you strengthen your career. Without being in a relationship, it allows you to be open to meeting other people, but in also meeting other people, there still is a common denominator that they still have to support your career. So that is super, super important for my audience to know. No matter who you surround yourselves with, either it be a personal relationship, a professional relationship, your network of people should be supportive of everything that you're trying to do. I like that. Now, the journey. The journey is different for everyone, but sometimes the destination is the same. You didn't start off taking acting classes until later on. Why is that?
Truth be told,
Yeah.
I've never taken an acting class.
So it's just natural.
You know, like I said, I've been wanting this since I was 4 years old. Now I do need to take acting classes. I am in the process of signing up for some so that I can sharpen my craft and perfect my craft, because every day is a new learning process. You know, you got to learn something new every day. And when you think you know it all, you know nothing.
Yeah. So what was the biggest, I would say, advice that a director gave you on set that you really learned from?
Someone on set told me, even if nobody sees you going above and beyond, go above and beyond. Because whether you think someone's going to see you or not, someone is seeing you and they're appreciating that extra effort that you are doing. Just so, like, for instance, I was on set for the Lakers project, the Winning Time.
Okay.
I stayed until like the very end. And this was before, you know, I was filming BMF. This was before all of that. So it was like I was recognized, I was noticed by the people, and they gave me a voucher off of it. This was before I was SAG. So they were like, you know, you earned your voucher just by being on set till I was like one of the very last people to leave. It was like 5, 6 in the morning. We had been there all day. So it's just little things, like just put in that extra effort.
Yep.
Like it will be noticed.
Your work ethic, it speaks volumes. So did you only allow yourself to be on set while you were filming, or did you also stick around to see like what other people were doing, since you didn't have any acting lessons, like what you could take away? So did you remain on set even though you were finished filming?
Well, in Detroit, we were there for 10 days, the whole cast and crew.
That's all it took to film the entire series, was 10 days?
No, that was just Detroit. That was just Detroit. But we were in Atlanta the rest of the time from March till June.
Oh, wow.
I believe it was, yeah. But, you know, I don't know. It was just, I forgot the question.
After you were done filming your scenes, did you remain on set?
Oh, yeah. No, I didn't actually, because when you're done with your scene, there's really nowhere for you to hang out. You
Got
know, you got to go back either to your trailer or to the next whatever it is that you're doing. So you don't really have the opportunity to stick around. But I did take away a lot from all the characters that I did work with on set.
Got it. And then besides the professional relationships that you all grew, you mentioned that you all grew to become like family.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the set life run by Randy Huggins, he's an amazing showrunner. It was just very lighthearted. Like everybody was just so friendly and so warm and welcoming. And I just like literally, I loved everyone on set. It was like, I couldn't hug them enough when I was leaving. It was like bittersweet. Like, I don't want this to end.
Right. Wow. So as I was researching, like I mentioned, you know, other people who are on the cast, we're going to see Young Miami or Carisha Brownlee. I was like, that's her last name. We never knew that. Did you have any scenes with her?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay. What is her character about? Can you tell us a little bit about Young Miami's character?
From what I know, she's a Southern belle and she is Son's girlfriend. I'm not 100% sure because, you know, if I'm not in that episode, I don't get that script. I'm watching just like everybody else, waiting to see what's going to happen because I don't know.
Yeah, we are all waiting. Let me tell you, every Sunday at midnight, I am waiting for it.
Fridays.
It's Fridays?
Yes, BMF is Black Mafia Fridays now, mommy.
Thank you for letting me know. I done missed a whole 24 hours. I could have been caught up. As soon as I finish this, no lie, I'm going to be watching. I am tuned in every single week since season 1. And then I heard with the season 2 premiere, 50 Cent alluded to there may be some spinoffs.
He said there's going to be
3 spinoffs. Do you know what those 3 spinoffs will be? No.
I have no idea, but I'm praying for Peaches and K9.
That's a whole other storyline. We can definitely see a spinoff from K9 and Peaches. So we'll be crossing our fingers with that. But yeah, this series is great. And to know that you are a part of it, you know, kudos and hats off to you.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I want to transition into something else because I want to give you an opportunity to use this platform because you're Persian, as you mentioned, and you want to use your platform. And I want to extend my platform because you want to offer words of advice, encouragement. What do you want to say as a Persian woman to your culture and just to the community at large?
I mean, there's just so much going on over there. I have so much to say. I don't even know where to begin. You know, if there was something that I could do to help the women in Iran with whatever's going on, like I would do it. You know, I don't know what there is to do. My words of advice is just stay strong. You know, I don't know. I want to just say, go for it and just go hard, but they're just killing off so many people. I just don't want to say anything that could cause harm to anybody. You know, it's a really messed up situation. And I'm just praying for my family there, my aunts and cousins. And, you know, I have a lot of family. All my mom's side of the family is in Iran still. My grandma.
Is it difficult for you to keep in touch with them now that you're here and they're still in Iran?
No, I mean, we communicate on WhatsApp and they have Instagram as well. So they've been watching my journey and they watch my stories. My aunt calls me and she's like, please send me the videos of you on, you know, on your film. And so I send her my little clips because I know that they can't watch from there, but.
Yeah. Well, you know, your life has definitely taken a turn for the better. Owe it to your parents because they escaped Iran as refugees. And I think you were 2 months old when they came.
No, actually, my mom was pregnant with me. She was 7 months pregnant. So we came in October and I was born in December.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. And I was conceived in Germany. So my dad, he moved my sister and my mom out of Iran when all of that was happening and moved them to Germany. And then from Germany, they made their escape to America.
Got it. So this has been, you know, an exciting conversation with you. Thank you for blessing my platform.
Thank you for having
What
me.
can we expect from you moving forward? Are there any upcoming projects that we can anticipate?
Yes, I have 2 films in the pipeline right now. One is called Daughters of Dolomite. It's part of like the Dolomite series, so it's a really funny one. Yeah, it's a great one that's coming out. I play a character named Jade. I'm a badass, whooping some booty. I don't know if we can curse on here. Excuse my language.
I'm a cursaholic. You can.
So yeah, she's kicking some ass, but and then I have another film called Dummy Missions, which was filmed in Baltimore and DC, and that's more of like a touching story, but it's also got some comedy in it, and it's exciting, and it's got a little backstory, and it's based on true events. So that's going to be a good one as well. And I play Aunt Angela in that. But other than that, I'm just, I'm looking for bigger roles, more roles, and we're just trying to take over at this point.
You will, because you are in the right place at the right time. You as Peaches on BMF, the expansion. I'm glad that 50 Cent is really focused on expanding the characters and also doing additional spinoffs. And because you're already entering into spaces, knowing that you have to show up and show out, like it's inevitable. It's a win-win. We're going to see you in much larger spaces. You're already in a large space. So continue blessings to you, Rama. This has been a real blessing conversation. And where can we follow you? What's your Instagram?
Rama June, RAMAJOON, on all platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
Got it. Well, I'm going to head up on out of here, because now that you told me that BMF starts streaming on Fridays, I need to take all of this off, sit down with a nice glass of wine. Is it time? It's shot o'clock somewhere.
It's okay. Saturday. It's okay. Go ahead and get you a mimosa.
Yes. And I'm going to watch the latest season of BMF and especially look for you as Peaches. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure talking with you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you too. Bye.
So there you have it. Rama, she stars as Peaches on the hit series BMF. I did not know that it starts streaming on Friday, which kind of makes sense. The F stands for Friday. I was really waiting for Sunday at midnight to watch the show. Now it gives me an all new reason every Friday to get home earlier and earlier and earlier so that I and also you can watch BMF. This is great. I'm glad that Rama, she's a beautiful woman, as you can see, that she is taking on other roles instead of being the it girl, the beautiful girl, the face. Oftentimes when actors or actresses book roles, they are kind of pigeonholed into a stereotype, one type of role, and then they can't secure other roles because that's all that casting agents know. So even though she is kind of beginning still in her career, she's putting her face into different rooms. As she mentioned, she could have been the detective on BMF, total different role from her character as Peaches. So make sure that you all continue watching. It is inevitable that this will be renewed for season 4, 5, 6. We're only in, I think, the 3rd or 4th episode of season 2, and they already renewed it for season 3. That speaks to the success of the show. That shows that you are watching, but don't keep it there. Continue to watch other great shows that have dope content with us in it. It is super, super, super important. We don't want to just, support the shoot 'em up, bang, bang, drug dealer type of shows. We want to also support other shows. Make sure you also support Sanya On-Air by subscribing. Sanya On-Air streams across every major streaming platform. If you're watching Sanya On-Air on YouTube, make sure that you hit the notification button. That way, every time I upload an all-new celebrity interview, you will be the first one to know. So thank you so much for watching. This has been another amazing edition of Sanya On-Air. Smooches, dolls. Take care.